A Zombie Apocalypse Story. Part 12. Hostage Negotiations. Lara and Jenna immediately let her go. Jane took her chance and ran up the stairs. Me, Toby and John went after her. She tried the first door, locked, went up the next flight. This door had been propped open by someone to make it easy to move supplies through. She ran into the corridor, knocked Ty out of the way and ran to one of the flats and slammed the door behind her. I got to the door as she locked it. I ran into it and bounced off. I heard a scream in the flat. "Sky!" I yelled. More screams and shouts of "Shut up, shut up." I kicked the door. It was solid. Fuck. My mind ran with possible scenarios. Could she turn with Sky locked in there? Would she hurt Sky? I took a moment to collect myself. "Jane," I called out. "Jane," this time more angrily. "If you hurt her, I will destroy you. There is no way you're getting out of there. Just come out and we can work this through." Silence. "Jane!" I screamed, booting the door again. "I'm not coming out," she said. "You don't have a choice in this, Jane, and neither do we. You could be infected." "I'm not," she wailed. "Well, come out then. You're going to throw me out in the street to die." "Damn right we would," John began, but I cut him off. "We won't throw you out, Jane. Just please let the girl go. She's got nothing to do with this." "You're lying. You'll come here and kill me." "Jane, we don't want to force the door, but we will." Silence from the other side. I slumped against the door. The others were looking at me. "Get the ice axes," I said. "Hold on," Toby replied, and went to a pile of stuff in the corner and pulled out a sledgehammer. "Where the hell did you get that?" I said. "Found it," he replied. I nodded and went back to the door. "Jane, this is your last chance to open up. If you come in here, I'll hurt her." I took a gamble that she wouldn't. I didn't think she had it in her. Toby took the sledgehammer and we backed up a bit to give him some room to swing. The first hit seemed to have no effect. "Aim for the lock, man," I said. Whilst Toby worked on the lock, there were more shouts from within. After the third hit, the lock broke and the door opened. Toby went to head in. I stopped him and asked him where the guns were. They hadn't brought them up from the lobby yet. A small wave of relief washed over me. "Wait here," I said. I took off my coat and clipped my baton from my belt and tucked it into my pocket and entered into the flat. Straight ahead of me was the bedroom. On the corner, the bathroom, a small laundry cupboard, and a short narrow hall was leading to an open plan kitchen from the front door. This was closed. I knocked. "Jane?" I said. I heard whimpering but no response. "Jane, I'm coming in." I opened the door a little. Cleo came flying out of the room. That made me jump. I opened the door fully. The front room is a small square of a large typical church window, taking up almost the whole of one wall. The kitchen was to the left. Jane was pressed against the window. The curtains were drawn across. She had Sky pressed up against her, a knife in her right hand. "Jane, let her go. We can sort this out. Don't do something you'll regret." I took a step forward. Jane pressed further back to the window and raised the knife to me. "Go away," she said, in tears. "I wish I could, Jane, but I can't." I stepped closer. I'm within arm's reach of her now. "You okay?" I said to Sky. "Yeah." I could barely hear her. She was talking in a whisper. "Okay. Walk slowly towards me. Don't worry, no one's going to hurt you." She started to walk forward. I thought Jane was about to let her go, but suddenly her empty hand shot forward to pull her back. But I stepped forward quickly and pushed Sky away. Jane brought the knife up and tried to slash my chest. I jumped back, making sure that Sky was behind me. I extended the baton from my pocket. Sky, go wait in the hallway. She ran off. Jane, put the knife down. We can sort this out. You can stay, we'll keep an eye on you. Or you can leave. Your choice. You're just going to lock me up. We don't have a choice, Jane. I've seen what these bikes can do to people. It's not happened to me yet, she yelled, and came forward quickly, catching me off guard. The knife came down, almost hitting me again. As I stepped back as she was recovering, I used the baton to drive her back. She swung the knife round again, higher this time. I felt a sting across my cheek. I managed to kick her legs out from underneath her. She fell to the floor. Bringing the knife again, I dropped the baton and grabbed it. She brought her other hand up and kicked me in the crotch. Pain raged through me. I yelled for John and Toby, and they burst into the room, grabbed her hands and pulled her away. I lay there on the floor, gasping. Got to my feet. My balls ached. I walked back into the hallway and out of the flat. Jenna was hugging Sky. You're bleeding, Lara said. It's fine, it's my balls that hurt. I winked. She laughed. I think we're past that, she said. I smiled. You okay? I said to Sky. She looked up from Jenna's shoulder and nodded. Where's Jane? I asked. This was a couple of minutes later. I'd had my cheek looked at and it had been cleaned up. Nothing too fancy, wouldn't hurt my staggeringly average looks. The scream from downstairs answered my question. I headed down. John and Toby were in the process of throwing her out the door. No, I said, as I came down the stairs. John and Toby stopped trying to push her out the door. Jane was yelling. I sighed. I took Jane's hand and handcuffed her to the banister. Alright, upstairs, now, I said, Toby and John. What about me? Jane said. I gave her an angry look. She shut up, and we headed upstairs. We sat down in the living room where all this took place, which was actually Lara's flat. We sat down, had a smoke. Throw her ass out in the street, John said. He was angry, and rightfully so. Everyone seemed to agree with him. Wait, I said. Wait for what, Tom? Wait for her to try and stab you again? Wait for her to turn? She's scared, I replied. And dangerous, John retorted. What if she turns? We handcuff her to a radiator in an empty room. Then if she turns, we'll deal with it then. If not, well, we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. Dude, she tried to kill you. She's going... I don't understand how you can continue to stick up for her. John was red in the face now. I could completely understand why. We should give her a chance, I said. She had her chance and she attacked us with a knife, John said. We vote on it then. Fine. Everyone in favour of letting the murderer stay, raise your hand. I meant a secret vote. Do I get a vote? Sky chimed in. She was in the corner, playing with the cats. I wasn't sure about giving her a vote, but everyone else said yes, so I went along with it. We got some paper. I put my point across and the precautions we would take, locking her up. If we threw her outside, she'd just attract the dead, banging on the windows, etc. John put his point across and we voted. I won, 4-3. John was not happy about it, but went along with it. Me and Toby went downstairs and locked Jane. What are you going to do now? She said. We're staying for the moment, I replied. She started to thank me. I cut her off. We're handcuffing you into a room and locking you in there. quarantined 24 hours. As we took her to the top floor rooms, opened it up with a credit card. God bless the internet. It was 3 o'clock. We opened the room, did a quick sweep to check. It was empty. We covered the windows and handcuffed her to the radiator. Toby left. I got her a bucket for her business and some toilet paper. I put on the TV and handed her the remote. A couple of magazines I found. I laid down some cushions for her to sleep on and found some crackers in the cupboard and filled up a couple of water bottles. I handed them to her. "You're just going to leave me here," she said. "We'll come back in a day and check on you. I recommend you keep quiet or you're going to retract the things." "What if I'm not infected?" she retorted. "We'll have another vote to see if you can stay." "What if they say no?" "Well, then we'll give you some food, water and point you in the direction of the evac centre." "I'll die before I make it there." "Well, then you should think twice before going all stabby on people." I sat down on the floor, out of arm's reach. "When did you get bitten?" she said. "Please tell me, I'm curious." "Just before I met you." "Okay then," I replied, let's say about 10 o'clock. "Do you have any family?" No answer. "Anything to say?" "Not to you." "Okay then." I got up and walked out, closing the door behind me, and left the flat. I closed the door, I grabbed a chair and put it a few feet back and sat. Someone would watch the door at all times. No one would go in or out till tomorrow. 8 p.m. The noise we had made earlier had attracted someone dead to our location. That all they were doing is milling about, searching for a noise that is no longer there. All the windows on the top floor have been covered. John had an idea of going outside and spray painting dead inside on the front door to deter people from coming in through. Though we haven't seen or heard anything human today apart from Jane. Due to the number of dead outside, we had to hold off on destroying the stairway, as the noise may attract them to us. We've settled with just removing supplies to the top floor. There are 5 rooms here. We cleared them, no one was in them. The other 2 floors we're not 100% sure of, if there's dead weight locked in their rooms, but that will have to wait till tomorrow. But the top floor is safe for now, and the door that leads into the hallway is solid. Toby and Jenna have taken one apartment, Lara's kept hers, and Ty and John are sharing for the night. Sky has opted to stay with me for the time being. I've given her the bedroom, I'll take the sofa. She's asleep now, with the hallway light on, and the door open. The 5th room is Jane. I'm watching it now, reading Day by Day Armageddon. I can look just to my right and see Sky wake up occasionally, looking over to see I'm still there, and then before going back to sleep. No one's been in the room with Jane since I left, and there has been no sound coming from there. I've sat here watching since we put her in. Ty will take over at 11, and then Jenna at 6. I couldn't keep concentrating on my book. I put it down, I put my head in my hands, and thought back to the day's events. So much could have gone wrong. Sky could have been killed, I could have just as easily been killed. Or was I giving Jane a chance? I started to play with my necklace, a metal angel wing. I pressed it to my forehead and felt the cold against my skin. I sighed. God, I was bored. John and Ty had gone to their room. John was still in the mood with me, over letting Jane stay. He would get over it. I reached into my pocket and pulled out my phone, tuned it to a radio station and listened. A couple of evacuation centres had already been overrun. Not that they said that, they just stopped mentioning them. Where where they were listed. Foreign news was not much better. France was almost as bad as here. The Americans were making a stand in various places throughout the country, but it seemed nowhere was safe now. China refused to comment. I turned off the radio. John walked out into the corridor. "All quiet?" he asked. "Yeah, not a peep." "What are we going to do with her?" "Well, if she isn't infected," I said, "we put it to a vote. And if they want her out, then she goes." He nods. "You're too soft, you know that." I nodded and sighed again. "Look what your fucking cat did to my arm," he said jokingly. His arm was covered in scratches. I laughed. "It's not my fault she hates you. Are we okay?" "Yeah, man, we're fine." "I understand, man, why you want to kick her out. It crossed my mind." He nodded. "Night, dude." "Night, mate." I plugged in my headphones so I wouldn't disturb Sky and continued my watch. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Part 13, coming soon. Grand Designs.